Suicide Squad does not suck. I was getting worried there for a minute.
What a ride!
Let's play.
Come on, got some better too?
Light it up!
I love this guy.
Not good. Don't forget, we're the bad guys.
Suicide Squad. This is probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year, probably like third most anticipated movie of the year. And when all the bad reviews started coming out, I started freaking out. I thought, man, I'm going to have to give up in the DC universe. But, you know, it actually is pretty good. Let's talk about all the good stuff first. And there's a lot of it. First of all, the entire cast, everybody is fantastic. And they have great chemistry as a team. Particularly, I really like Deadshot. I thought there was no way I wasn't going to fall in love and have Harley Quinn be my favorite, because she's one of my favorite characters. But Deadshot, I really connected with Deadshot's character, and when you see the movie, you'll understand why. But he was my favorite. He was the funniest. He seemed like he was the most developed character. They gave him the most story. And I just really liked him, and I really like Will Smith, and he played Deadshot perfectly. But I did like Harley Quinn, and I loved Harley Quinn and the Joker's relationship. They do spend a lot of time on that, and it's different. But I did really like Harley Quinn, and I liked this new Joker. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say I liked him more than Heath Ledger, because I don't think anybody's going to be as good as Heath Ledger. And we do not get a whole lot of Joker. We get Batman in this, but he is in it just a tiny little bit, mainly in flashback scenes. But he's awesome. Every time you see him, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for a Ben Affleck Batman movie, because he's really cool in this for the little pieces that we get. There's a nice little cameo of the Flash, which was awesome, but it's literally like 5 seconds, so don't get too excited about it. Everybody else in the cast was good too. It's just they spent the most time on Deadshot and Harley Quinn, and they didn't go into too many backstories for anybody else, except for maybe the Diablo character, the fire guy. We get a little bit into his background, which makes him a little bit more relatable. The special effects in this scene and everybody's powers, and even the music, some people didn't like how there's a lot of music. There is a ton of music in this, and it seems like every character has their own song, and every flashback has its own song. And if that may throw you out of the film, but I kind of liked it because they picked the songs really well, and it just gave each character its own kind of feel. And so I didn't mind that at all. So I'm mixed about the story. There was some really cool parts. I really did like the beginning, how they introduced the Suicide Squad, and I liked where they were trying to go with it. But let's get into the major flaw of this movie, and there's two of them. One is the pacing / editing of this movie is really bad. There are scenes that come in out of nowhere that don't really make sense or fit in what's going on. And then there's also, it really feels like you get set up for about 20 minutes and then bad guy appears, and then it's the rest of the movie is just them fighting the bad guy. And you would think, well, that might sound awesome, but it's just, if they had spent a little bit more time telling a better story, I think we would have liked it a little better. And then, let's talk about the worst part about this movie, and it's a big one. And I can't really talk about it very much because I don't want to spoil it, because nobody really knows. It's kind of a twist, I guess, or it's not in the advertising. And that's the villain. This is one of the worst villains in comic book movie history, in my opinion. And it's not even her backstory or why you know, this person is a villain. I kind of understand that, but it's just her mannerisms and what all she does. It's just stupidity, and it's just she's a very weak villain. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's just, maybe you'll like her better than I did, but it just wasn't for me. So with all that said, I still have faith in the DC cinematic universe, because Suicide Squad was surprisingly really good. I found myself laughing a lot, really enjoying the movie. I like the special effects. I like the characters. I love that they left it open for a sequel, and I hope we do get a sequel. So I'm going to give Suicide Squad a 4 out of 5. There is an end credit scene in this movie, and it feels so like a Marvel ripoff. Like, it's basically building towards Justice League is what the end credit scene is, but it feels like something Marvel did way back in like Iron Man 2. If you like this video, click that like button. If you want to keep up to date on all my videos, click this glorious subscribe belly button. If you want to see my last few videos, click over here. This has been a Randy Cage production. Peace out.
Yeah.